I mean, if you're a Bears fan, you're thinking forward progress. Come on.
10, 219, 219.
Forward Progress, a Chicago Bears podcast with Dan Bernstein and Matt Abaticola on 312 Sports.
Welcome to Forward Progress, a Chicago Bears podcast. We are awarding you Forward Progress here as we talk Bears and NFL on 312 Sports. And we have entered that period of the season where we are grumbling about undisclosed Super Bowl injuries and preparing for the Combine. And also, it is the annual time where our buddy Kevin Fishbane over at The Athletic starts looking at the effects of the salary cap and what the Bears are faced with now. They spent several years well under the cap, and that was a big thing. Look at all the cap space. Well, guess what? That cap space is gone.
It's gone.
And they're good. That's what's supposed to happen.
Correct.
They still have not paid their quarterbacks. So this is still the critical time to maximize everything else before you have plunked down that much of your franchise value to your quarterback. And I asked you to look over these lists and to look at some of the names. And the names should not surprise us because you know the people who signed the larger deals and where we are in those deals and what it means when we balance out the amount of savings, the amount of dead cap, the June 1st spreads and what can be done to extend some of that money into the next league year. And I asked you if you came away with a conclusion. Now, I looked at something, and I looked at something that caused me to ask a question that I think is going to be immensely unpopular.
Okay, well, I want to hear what that question is. So it's Kevin Fishbane's article from The Athletic, really well done, breaks it all down, makes it very simple, easy to understand what the Bears are facing. As you mentioned, always had lots of cap space. This year, they're actually in the negative. So there is a lot of work that Ryan Poles and the Bears cap people are going to have to work through, whether it's restructuring contracts, cutting people.
Is it Feinstein or Feinstein?
That I'm not sure.
I think it's Feinstein.
Feinstein?
I don't know.
We'll find out. But, yeah, Matt Feinstein is the cap guy. So there's a lot of work for the Bears to do, something they haven't really faced in an offseason in quite some time. So when you look through it, what jumped out at you, or what was the most important question that you asked, which now that you phrase it as a way that it'll be unpopular, I'm very curious to hear what you took away.
And eventually it's addressed in the article.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start and here are a couple facts.
Okay.
One is a good team for it to keep being good has to keep developing through the draft.
Correct.
You don't just draft and then declare, okay, we had a good couple drafts, now we're set. You must keep restocking through the draft with inexpensive players. If this is done correctly, the best players make the most money when they're playing their best.
Right, and when you look at the future of the Bears in Caleb Williams and Colston Loveland and Luther Burden, Roma Dunze, those are guys that when you're paying them a lot of money, especially Caleb Williams, when that's going to take up a huge percentage of your cap space, you need to be productive and do well in your scouting of drafting players. You have to. Because you have to have draft classes like you just saw, Dan, that are impactful on your season.
Yeah, it's not once in a while you have a good draft. Let's say, hooray. It has to be, there have to be viable players always in. It doesn't have to be just the draft, but it might be your own developmental pipelines. Mm-hmm. It might be your pro scouting, finding young players off of other teams. We noted that yesterday, talking about both of the Super Bowl teams, and a lot of guys who were cut by other squads.
Yep.
It's always being aware of that. A high roster churn can correlate with a lot of success. If you're constantly, every Tuesday, you're trying guys out. Every Tuesday, you're churning that practice squad. You're going through people and trying to figure out who you can develop, because injuries are going to take away all these players anyway. So what I'm wondering, and the question that I have to have answered first, and you're going to see where I'm going here, because the obvious name to cut is Tremaine Edmunds.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious.
Yes.
Because we need to find out with Dennis Allen how important that position is. We know Dennis Allen is not running what Matt Eberflus ran, and Tremaine Edmonds' role in the other defense was of much higher importance and significance than in what they're running now.
So if Tremaine Edmonds was released,
that is a $15 million cap savings, a dead money of only 2.4.
right? And he's currently looking at his contract by position. He's the fourth highest paid player at that position.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You also have Cole Kmet now, and if you were to release Cole Kmet, you save $8.4 million. There's $3.2 million of dead money.
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre Swift, you would save $7.5 million and only 1.3 of dead money.
Right.
Now we know DeAndre Swift is a running back. Can you find a less expensive replacement running back? Yeah, of course you can. Who can probably be close to his level of production? The answer is yes, you can. But he's only 27.
Mm-hmm.
He did improve last year. He had a really good year. He's important. Cole Kmet, same thing. That you're running a lot of 12 personnel, sometimes 13 personnel,
right. Yep.
and you need really good tight ends. He's really good, but could enough of his production be replaced less expensively? So that's,
you're talking about a guy who, I think he was at 70% of the snaps for the season,
really
around that mark. Yeah.
And any one of these might make you mad because you can't cut DJ Moore.
Correct.
You can't.
It's bad financially.
You cannot cut him.
Correct.
Even after June 1st, even if you extend it after June 1st, you only save $1 million and you have $27.5 million of dead money.
Right. That is financially irresponsible.
You're not doing that, and you're
Correct.
not doing the same goes for Dio Odengbo. So the name and the question I want to ask is, how healthy is Jalen Johnson?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I came away with here. I have to know. Because if the Jalen Johnson that we saw at the end of the year is what he is now, I'm cutting him. If the Jalen Johnson who we saw at the end of the year doesn't exist anymore and now he's healthy and now he's himself, different conversation. He looked slow and bad at the end of the year.
He did, and we talked about it quite a bit, and the idea of getting back out on the field. He even said, I am not going to play enough the rest of this year to get back to where I know I can play. He said that.
Boy, is it important to know.
We knew that going into it. I don't like it, though. I mean, it's still, there's a cap savings of $15.9 million with a dead money hit of $9 million. That's a lot. That's a lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are, like you mentioned, Cole Kmet, a $10 million savings and a $1.6 million hit. That's something I can live with. Again, it's not my money, it's not my decision, but as a fan on the outside looking, I can say, yeah, $2 million, I can live with $2 million dead money. $9 million seems like an awful lot.
Okay.
It seems like there's a lot you can do with $9 million.
I'm just trying to think, though, if he doesn't get healthier, then that's a lot of money to pay somebody who looked like that.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. And
I'm trying to take emotion out of it.
I know.
I'm trying to take all that out of it, and it's very simple. That player is not worth that money.
I also believe, though, Dan, if they didn't believe and he didn't believe in his own body that he could get back to the player that he was, he wouldn't have been out there at the end of the season.
That's fine, and I love belief.
Mm-hmm.
But,
I know, you're right.
But ultimately, this league is cruel. And one of the ways in which it's cruel is injuries take away who you are. It's exactly like what we're dealing with here when I'm talking about the Bulls and Jaden Ivey.
Mm-hmm.
Same kind of thing. The difference is the risk level and the stakes. It's kind of a free look at Jaden Ivey here.
Yeah.
He's going to be a restricted free agent. Like they have, but that's, again, a guy who was on a track to being a great player. A potentially great player who now looks like something less than that.
Yeah.
And he's had plenty of time. I need to know from your doctors, from Johnson, from an objective scouting perspective, and you may not know by June 1st. You got to know now. You got to say, how long do you need? And then I don't know what you're allowed to do. I don't know how you can diagnose, how you can test. You can't run him through a combine.
No, you can't.
But this is a huge decision, because I don't want to get to a point where, all right, we're keeping him, and then in the middle of this year,
right,
you end up with a Jalen Johnson that finished the season. That's a problem. So this is not an easy call.
Yeah. So what you have to rely on is what the player says. You have to rely on what your doctors have learned about him through the course of the season, now that he's away for a bit.
And then now that you have all that imaging.
And you have to understand what medical history says from that kind of injury.
Bingo.
Where he's at.
Bingo. But other comparable people,
right,
who do comparable things, who have come back from similar injuries. Because there were multiple, right?
Correct. There were multiple injuries, different injuries. So here's the thing. If you can confidently say he's not going to be the player that he once was, okay. If he's not at that level, what percentage of player is he going to be? And how does that compare to what's available, or what we get, or what we have? Okay. And if you say that even at the level he's going to play at is not good enough, you have to be confident in your doctors and all the knowledge you have of the injuries and of the player to say, yeah, we're going to live with a $9 million dead money hit to save $15.5 million off his $24.5 million salary.
And perhaps allow you to retain someone you would have otherwise let go, whether or not. And I don't know how positionally you look at this. Maybe it's not positional. Maybe it's all in the same bucket.
And maybe you look at it and say, if Jalen Johnson goes, that helps us keep a guy like
Brisker,
or
Byard, Komet, if
right,
you wanted to re-sign Deshaun Wright, depending on what he's getting on the open market, any number of these, and or the guys you might want to extend to create some of the cap space here. So he missed time at the start of training camp with a leg injury that they said was suffered in the offseason, right?
Yes.
Then it was the groin injury, where they eventually told us it was at least a partially avulsed adductor. That means a groin muscle.
Right.
The groin muscle.
And avulsed is pulled off the bone?
Yes.
Okay.
So he had surgery. Then he was re-aggravated against the Lions. He did surgery, and they said on groin and core muscles. So that could have been also a sports hernia or any number of things that could qualify as surgery on groin and core. Went on IR, activated November 27th, and couldn't really run the way we're used to seeing him run. That's a severe injury.
Yeah.
And maybe it was just too early in his rehab. But you got to know before June 1st.
Yeah.
Or maybe if you can't, the decision's already made.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Maybe they already know what their direction is.
Or what I'm saying, or maybe because they know they don't know. They're like, well, we're going to keep him. We're not going to be so stupid as to get rid of a guy sort of on spec here before we know what he is, when we're giving him every incentive, every carrot to come back and come back and come back and work to come back, and maybe he's fine. It's possible he's fine. And then you've got somebody who is among the best at his position at an increasingly reasonable deal with every year that goes by. So this is how hard it is, though.
Yeah,
this is the reality of some of this stuff.
Yeah, just looking at it, I think Tremaine Edmonds is that no-brainer at a $15 million savings, dead money of $3 million. And I think we might have seen the last of DeAndre Swift as a Bears running back.
It's possible.
I mean, if you feel confident that you could find another guy in a 5, 6, 7 round pick,
or off of some other team,
sure. But
it's a running back.
Looking at the draft, yeah,
it's a running
cheaper.
back. It's a running back,
right? Because I don't know. I mean, I don't see enough of an outside perspective from outside the organization, enough conversation around the left tackle. I'm telling you that's a significant issue for me.
Well, and you're going to have to pay Darnell Wright. And the question is, are you paying Darnell Wright? Because he might set the market. He might be the highest paid tackle in football. And if that's the case.
But he wasn't good enough to play for your team.
Play left.
Right.
No left.
No left.
Left. Right.
Right.
If, in fact, you're envisioning, you may, and this is kind of dirty pool here, but what if you signed him and extended him as a right tackle? And obviously his agent's going to see that coming and is going to put in all sorts of escalators. If you move him over,
you're going to jack up. Yeah,
right. But I'm saying,
I don't know, dude. I've seen enough of the Darnell Wright or the Braxton story. I've seen enough of it. It's time. I don't. If he goes somewhere and he becomes a all pro left tackle, I mean, he had opportunities here, and your coaches that you believe in didn't see enough,
right,
to say he's the guy. It's like they can't sign him to anything. He's like, it's done.
And you wish him luck and say, if you want to be the next Charles Leno and have a nice career somewhere else,
go ahead and go do that.
Go ahead,
because I've seen enough of it.
Okay. I just want to point out some of the ways that these decisions, and I know that everyone's like, bring back everybody, it was awesome. It's just not reality. It's just not what happens. And it's part of being good. These are good problems to have. You want this. It's better than being in the other situation. Get rid of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I look at T.J. Edwards too as a question mark with the injury.
We don't know. Bad injury.
Yeah, and he's set to make $11 million next year.
It's a bad injury. Is he more replaceable? Another fair question.
Well, I saw enough of DeMarco Jackson to say I want him out there. I'll take him out there on the field.
Okay.
And is this an opportunity moving into the 2026 season where Edmonds and Edwards are no longer wearing Bears uniforms?
We don't hear a lot about linebackers necessarily. It's sort of a league thing too. That linebacker is like the running back
of the defense.
Well, depending on what you're doing. I mean, obviously it's not entirely true because you so many of these linebackers, these hybrid
guys. You're doing a 3-4 and you get
not even in a 3-4. There's so many nickel corners who are also linebackers, and you're asking everybody to be multi-positional. The nature of some of these defenses and is changing tremendously, and that's why this idea of stack linebackers are replaceable. Box safeties are replaceable. You can just go find those guys. Those are considered the more fungible positions and always have. But sometimes someone is too special, and sometimes you build your defense around the unique abilities of a certain player. You don't want to do that too much, but then you've got to evaluate how deep your draft is, at what positions, how your board could fall.
Yeah.
And here's where they make their money. Here's what you're paying these people to do in all of these positions. This is a real test for Ryan Poles here. Sustaining.
Yeah, this is huge. It's a huge offseason.
It's huge.
And again, being able to get a draft class that has an impact on your 2026 season is going to be vital to your success.
Yep, it always is.
Right.
Always is.
Well, I should say the continued success for where the Bears were at. One guy that will not be a part of any team's decisions as far as what happens with cap hits or offseason moves or drafts is old Chicago Bears general manager Ryan Pace.
Oh, yeah, they didn't want him around anymore, did they?
Ian Cunningham got on board in Atlanta, and he was like, Ryan, come on in the office.
Don't say it was Ian Cunningham, because if Ian Cunningham is making that decision, the Bears should get two third-round picks.
No. Ian Cunningham brought lunch and coffee in for the guys that made that decision.
Right. Went to Matt Ryan's office, Ryan Poles' former college roommate, and said, hey, by the way, I got an idea for you here, Mr. Football.
That's right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. Ian Cunningham did not make any decision, and he's not making any. As a matter of fact, they've stripped all decision-making ability from Ian Cunningham. He can't decide what to wear.
Not allowed to.
What to eat.
Right.
Where to go.
So, that's the guy on Kalshi we should be betting whether or not he's having dinner tonight.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, he has to ask Matt Ryan.
What can I do? I have no power here. Obviously, I clearly have no power.
Yeah, like the other day, he interrupted a meeting Matt Ryan was having, and what do you need? He said, hey, may I use the bathroom? Go ahead. You can use the bathroom. He's like, I really need to relieve myself.
It's like that.
I've had a lot of Dr. Pepper.
This scene in Shawshank Redemption when he's working in the grocery store.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
After Red gets
I need
out.
to relieve myself.
Yep.
Did you know that they were looking at Tom Cruise for that role of Andy Dufresne? And he wanted a different director to do it, and they actually offered. I don't remember who directed.
Frank Darabont.
Frank Darabont, thank you. They offered him $3 million to walk away, and he said, "No, this is going to be a significant movie for my career. I'm not going to do it." So Tom Cruise is out. It was also offered to Tom Hanks, and there was another actor. I can't remember who it was when I read the article.
I could see Tom Hanks doing it. Not Tom Cruise.
No, not Tom Cruise, but it's weird. I can't even see Tom Hanks doing it because Tim Robbins was phenomenal.
It always happens after the fact.
Yeah.
It's like the Sylvester Stallone as Indiana Jones. You know,
was that talk?
I think so.
Hey, yo, Germans!
Exactly.
Over here, you Nazis!
Right. Turns out the giant boulder is rolling at him. We just start
give me back
punching
that Arch of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
It's Ark of the Covenant, but that's fine too. Arch of Jesus.
Well, it wasn't Jesus. It was the previous god.
But that's what he was saying.
Yeah, I see.
He's just a guy a boxer from Philly turned archaeologist.
Yeah, I think that was one of the names on there. Yeah. He was wanted for every movie. It wasn't Jaws, was it?
Hey, Rock, we got a new fight for you. I can't do it. Got to go take on the Nazis. Religious artifacts. Got to do it. Yo, Adrian!
Yo, Marion.
That's right. That's what it would have been.
Yo, Marion. Marion Ravenwood.
Also a miss on our top 10 Ravens.
Marion Ravenswood?
Yeah.
Is it Ravenwood or Ravenswood? It was her father that was the one that...
Bob.
Wasn't...
Her father was Bob.
Was it Bob?
Bob Ravenswood.
Did we know his first name? I think we did.
Know.
I got to look that up now.
All right, so anyway,
where's Ryan Pace going to go?
I don't know, but you know who I saw this was crazy. Back in the NFL with the Chargers, took a job with the Chargers, Adam Gase.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, by the way, her father's Dr. Abner Ravenwood.
Abner, that's right.
Abner. And it is Ravenwood, not like the local neighborhood
right.
of Ravenswood. Or Ravenswood Manor, which is lovely.
I knew it was Abner. I knew his name was Abner. I knew that too. Yeah, I did, because it's in the movie. What?
I know it's in the movie, but it doesn't mean that you knew it.
But I knew it. Once you said it, I knew it.
Okay. Well,
you jogged my memory.
Yeah.
It was jogged.
Jogged?
Yes.
Oh, it's jogged. The difference between recall and recognition.
Right? I recalled it.
The difference between
after you said it.
A fill-in-the-blank exam and a multiple choice exam. Yeah,
yes.
Sometimes
multiple choice, because they give you the options for the answers there on the sheet.
I'm not falling for this today.
You're not falling for what? What are you not falling for?
I'm not going to let you be a penis and just try to make me mad.
It's too late.
I
saw the look on your face.
I'm not mad.
Too late. Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
You are.
I'm so not.
You are. You're really bad. Why don't you just relax, man? Just relax. Take a breath. It's okay. Everything's fine. No reason to be angry. What are you going to be angry about?
I love that too. Being told
to relax.
Yeah. That always has a really good effect.
That's not a trigger at all.
No.
You should just relax, Dan. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, it's
no reason to be mad.
It's fine. Why are you worried? Why are you uptight? You're so tight, man.
You're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
Not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. No, I'm not.
All right, so Ryan Pace got
Gase and Pace. Gase is back. Pace is gone.
Out.
Poles has tough decisions to make. Is somebody going to hire Ryan Pace?
That's like a song.
What do you think?
I don't know, but yeah, Ryan Pace has got the looking for work the thing on his LinkedIn profile.
LinkedIn? Yeah. They gave him 6 years here. Is that right?
He wasn't here that long, was he really?
I think he was. I think Ryan Pace was here for 6 years.
Wow.
That's the most Bears thing. 2015 to 2021.
That's a long time.
That is a long-ass time for a guy who doesn't know what he's doing in his job.
Well, you had one good year out of that, right? 18 was it?
They had one good half of a game. The Khalil Mack first half against the Packers.
That was awesome.
That was one of my Bears fan highs.
My only time at Lambeau, seeing that in person was great. And then to see your guy come out at halftime all drugged up and throw for like 3 touchdowns.
Why is it my guy now?
Aaron Rodgers is always going to be your guy.
All of a sudden, it's my guy. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Your guy, White Sox baseball, Bulls basketball.
I thought you were handling White Sox baseball. You just said you were.
Oh, you're right. I said that on DBU.
Yes.
I'll take out all the baseball's mine, basketball's yours, hockey.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
You're
hockey.
I'm hockey?
Yeah, you get hockey.
Fine. I went to the most recent. I was the most recent attendee of the Blackhawks game.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I'm in charge of hockey.
Yes, you were there until I go again.
I was. It was
then I'll
fun.
take over. Yeah.
A really good time.
All right. I was looking. One of the things I like to do here, Dan, is we're getting ready for the combine, which is in 12 days, and all the off-season happenings, which we'll take you right through the off-season here on Forward Progress. We're not going anywhere. Forward Progress will be here for you 5 days a week throughout the entire off-season. Maybe some special weekend shows, too. You never know. Maybe we'll do something live from a bubble bath somewhere.
You didn't tell me about that.
Yeah. Maybe we'll take a bubble bath and do a live show.
Cool.
Not together, but like separate.
Okay.
Separate bubble baths with rubber duckies and everything. It'd be fun. But Forward Progress will be here for you. And I like to look through the early off-season power rankings.
According to whom?
Well, no, so I found a good one from our guy, Eric Edholm.
Oh. All right. Does he give his criteria? Because it's really important to know what the criteria are.
No, don't make it so difficult. Just go with the way it is.
It's my job to make things overcomplicated and difficult.
So here's what Eric Edholm had for the post Super Bowl rankings. Yes, sir. So he had your Chicago Bears, Dan, our Chicago Bears, 7th in the post Super Bowl rankings. 7th.
Okay.
Pretty good. He actually had them 3rd in the NFC. And the two teams they're behind in the NFC would be who?
The teams they were behind in the NFC would be the Rams and the Niners.
Nope. Rams are one of them. See, it was such an unforgettable Super Bowl. You forgot the champions already. So, yeah, Seattle number 1, and then he has the Rams 3rd overall, the Bears 7th overall. And then compare that to ESPN. They put out their Super Bowl rankings.
Yes.
They have the Bears at 11th.
Now, this is power rankings for this year?
Based on what happened after the end of the season.
All right, but it's nothing to do with next year.
Yeah, you can't do that because the rosters changed, Dan.
I thought this was presuming
they'll draft players.
All right, I don't know what any of this
free agent players.
All right.
So the roster will look different. We just talked about possibly cutting guys that will no longer be there.
Probably cutting guys. Yes.
So I'm sorry. I thought post Super Bowl rankings kind of made it clear.
Post Super Bowl rankings for last year's teams.
Hence the post Super Bowl.
Yeah, but it could be post Super Bowl rankings for next year's teams. They do it in college.
But next year's Super Bowl hasn't happened yet.
It's still in college.
You can't have
the moment the college championship ends, they do next year's.
But this is the post Super Bowl rankings for this season.
Yeah, but I'm asking which rank. I said I would do. Okay.
I thought it was clear, but I guess not. I mean, I might as well just be speaking in Spanish to you.
I don't understand Spanish.
Nor this.
I don't understand anything, really. It all makes me angry.
So ESPN has the Bears 11th overall. They have them 7th in the NFC. So Eric Edholm had them at 3rd in the NFC. They have them 7th in the NFC.
6 teams better than the Bears?
Yes.
6 of last year's teams.
In the NFC.
Huh? All right, Seattle. Hold on.
Seattle and LA are still there.
Seattle, LA, San Francisco.
San Francisco, correct. They have them 6th overall.
LA, San Francisco. They probably have Green Bay better than
10th overall.
Okay.
2 more.
And they have Carolina?
Nope.
The Buccaneers?
Nope. So right now you have Seattle, LA, 49ers, Green Bay. There are 2 other teams they have ranked ahead of the Bears.
The Eagles.
Eagles is one of them. And one more, easy, don't look outside the division.
Not the Lions.
Mm-hmm. They have the Lions. Seattle 1, LA 3, Niners 6, Detroit 7, Philly 8, Green Bay 10. Bears 11th.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, there's nothing more to it than just kind of see where people's perspectives are on the Chicago Bears post the Super Bowl for the season that just ended.
Okay.
Not for next season because they don't.
I'm
know
not
the
gonna.
teams
There's nothing worth fighting.
Oh, there's nothing to fight about or get. Yeah, it's just interesting to see where it all lays out as the Bears go into the 2026 season, Dan, with the hardest schedule. Hardest strength of schedule going into the year.
And we always say we don't know how difficult a schedule is.
Correct.
Until later. However, though, it's hard. Like, you can just tell.
Yeah.
Packers, Vikings, Lions. We know that those are the divisional games. But
Right.
outside
Three
of the
teams that finished 9-8 or better.
Jets, Patriots, Saints, Buccaneers, Eagles, Jaguars, Bills, Dolphins, Falcons, Panthers, Seahawks.
Right. You're talking a lot of playoff teams or fringe, almost playoff teams right there.
Yep.
Yeah. And I was interested. I was reading too about the opening weekend games, and this writer on NFL.com had, and I hope they don't do this because I think it's just too cliche. Seattle and the Rams as week one opponents because it's a division matchup.
I like that idea that a listener gave us, saying that Bears at Seattle to open.
So he actually had, this writer had the Bears as the second best possibility to play the defending champs.
Okay.
With the Chiefs as an outside chance based on Patrick Mahomes. But yeah, Bears going to Seattle week one. I would prefer to see that than like the Rams. And yeah, I get it. I get the history of the season and the playoff game.
Too. If you're in one of those groups, or you're somebody who does one Bears trip a year, I know there are a lot of people that love looking at that schedule.
Is Seattle the spot?
At that time of year?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
If it was the opening week, yeah.
If that's opening weekend and you're in the first week of September in Seattle, that's your trip. Then you can do a whole thing. You could go there and drive up to Vancouver. You could even, go up.
I've never been to Vancouver.
I haven't either.
I want to go.
I've spent a lot of time in Seattle, but not Vancouver.
Have you been to Montreal?
Yes.
I've never, and we're talking about a weekend in Montreal maybe this year.
Oh, dude, you have to do it. Absolutely, 100%. There are parts of Montreal that feel like old Europe, and you feel much farther away than you'd think you do, and it's an easy flight. Mm-hmm. But Montreal's great.
Okay. Yeah. We're talking about maybe getting a weekend, but we also got to fit in a weekend in New York too. We got to go see John.
Never a bad reason.
Got to go see the play. John Ortiz is, he did that Broadway.
Right.
Yeah. So we have a standing invite for that.
Oh,
so got to make that happen, I think. So I don't know if we can do both. If we have to choose between one or the other, I think it's going to have to be New York again. Yeah.
There's never an excuse. There's 20 flights a day. It's just
because I need to go back and have more norms.
Going to New York is like getting on a bus and going down Western Avenue. It's so easy.
Oh, dude, we were talking about pizza the other night. We're actually looking at the calendar to find a day just to drive up to Beer Church. Just for the day.
Why not?
Just to go have lunch. Like, that's how bad we're both craving the pizza.
Then go.
We're going to. I said we're looking at a day on the calendar.
Yes, life is short.
We got to find a day because there's, 9 basketballs every Saturday. There's 10 on Sundays. And
you got to get to the point where at least one of those kids can drive.
Well, yeah, it's called age, and they're not there yet. Dan, unless I have them drive at 13.
Take care of each other and.
Yeah, we're not living in some farm in Arkansas where they can drive the tractor.
Get him a golf cart or something.
Yeah, right.
Something he's allowed to drive.
Driving the Schaumburg down 53 in a golf cart.
Yep. But yeah, definitely. We should do all the answer to those things.
I know.
At this point in our life is yes.
We're planning it. It's not a matter of if. It's just a matter of when.
How good is Norms though?
It's so good. I'm really glad you turned me on to that. Yeah, I'm glad I asked you about it too.
Yeah, that was kind of really before all this.
December.
Yeah.
December of 24.
Yeah, well, I lucked into it. I was just kind of asking around. I was wandering around Brooklyn, and then people said, "Yeah, this is that Norms is really worth it."
So good.
And it was. It is.
It was great.
Oh my God. Yeah.
All right. I also wanted to look at some draft stuff, and we looked at last week. Matt Miller put out his first 2 rounds.
Zion Young was the name.
So Chad Reuter of NFL.com put out his mock draft for the first 3 rounds, and I wanted to look at who he had for the Chicago Bears. At 25 in the first round, he had Ohio State defensive tackle Caden McDonald. The second round, 57 overall, Jalen Kilgore, the safety from South Carolina.
Caden and a Jalen. Okay.
Yep. And then at 89, the Bears' third round pick, edge rusher from Penn State, Danny Dennis Sutton are the 3.
Wait, Danny and Dennis Sutton?
Dennis hyphenated Sutton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, not twin. They're not getting twins.
Danny.
Although, if there were twins, could you get them the same pick?
Like an entry in a horse race?
Could you do that?
That'd be cool.
Like, if they're not conjoined, can you still take both brothers?
How good would a conjoined twin like center guard be?
Depends.
Right. You couldn't pull.
I mean, we talking 4 legs or 3 legs? Or
Well,
2?
if it's Will Campbell,
it's just one.
Just one. That'd be interesting. Or you have depending how athletic.
Would you be able to if there was 4 leg? Would you be able to do like 2 balls and like one's a phony ball and
No.
like which one are we going to snap?
No.
Oh, you couldn't do that.
No. Don't be crazy now.
Couldn't do a trick play.
Don't
Well,
take the
that's
idea.
crazy.
Don't take the idea of conjoined twins and make
At
it
center?
Now you make it crazy.
Or would you have them? Yeah. Would you have one play center, one play guard?
That's what I was thinking.
They could double team really well.
But if they count for 2, that would be bad. You have to count for 1.
I think the best possible scenario would be attached at like the left and right butt cheek.
But only by a long, flexible cord. They wouldn't like be attached. They would have a long.
Well, that's what conjoined twins are. There isn't
but
a
not the
cord
ones I'm
between them.
imagining.
Okay.
And they count for 1. It's a cap loophole.
I wasn't going to, but I just wanted to make it available to you.
What?
Do you want to know anything about these 3 or no?
Sure.
Oh,
We
okay.
might as well. I've got
Well, what do you wanna know?
Caden McDonald. I want to know if they're good. Caden McDonald, Jalen Kilgore, and Danny Dennis Sutton.
All right, Caden McDonald. Apparently, everything clicked for McDonald in 2025. He was thrust into a starting role following the departure of last year's draft class. He anchored the Buckeyes' defense that finished number 1 nationally in total defense, scoring defense, rushing defense. Here's the story: 65 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles across another dominant Ohio State campaign. He was named unanimous All-American and the Big Ten's Defensive Lineman of the Year, while earning semifinalist recognition for the Outland Trophy. His best performances came on the biggest stages, including a career-high 8 tackles against top-ranked Texas in the season opener and another 8-tackle effort against Penn State. Off the field, McDonald has served as an ambassador for Ronald McDonald House Charities of Central Ohio, demonstrating the character
Is he related?
and maturity. That's what I first thought, but I thought one guy's a clown. And,
He's a descendant of the original McDonald?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because who was that guy who founded McDonald's?
Ray Kroc.
Yes, that's not. Yeah, that's different last names.
I know.
He did McDonald's and then shoes.
Yeah, the shoe empire took everybody by surprise.
Made out of old burgers.
Good one, Ray. I like it. Why do they have holes in them? Oh,
Don't worry about
part
it.
of the bit. Don't
Demonstrating the character and maturity that NFL organizations covet in the locker rooms.
Okay.
Overall,
Great.
an 87.4 out of 100 overall ranking.
worry. And height and weight?
Yes, he has them.
He has both height and weight.
Correct.
Good. He has dimensionality.
One of his,
He is-
one of his strengths. He exists.
He has actual measurable mass.
Let's take a look here, Dan. He's
Yes.
6'3",
Yes?
and he's 326 pounds.
I like it.
Out
That's
of
a
Sewanee, Georgia.
That's a large man.
Yeah.
All right, now tell me about Jalen Kilgore.
Okay, what do you want to know about him?
Is he good at football?
This says bad at football. No, Kilgore's sophomore campaign showcased his ball hawking capabilities as he snagged 5 interceptions to lead the SEC and tie for 4th nationally. His nose for the football proved clutch as he sealed victories against both Old Dominion and Missouri with game-clinching interceptions. The 6'2", 219-pound defender continued his consistent production with 48 tackles, including 3 tackles for loss while starting 11 of 13 games. His impactful play earned him second-team All-SEC recognition.
At what position specifically?
What position specifically in football?
6'2", 219.
He is a man zone free safety.
Okay. Does he have the coverage ability to also play nickel corner? Because I would like to know, I want everybody to be able to theoretically play multiple positions.
So he's overall rating of an 83.7 out of 100. Offensive or defensive rating of
That doesn't mean anything to me.
No. I'm looking.
The ratings
Coverage.
don't mean anything to me.
Coverage.
All right, 6'2", 220. Okay.
Looks like so his greatest strength here is run defense.
Okay.
Is what they show. Zone coverage. Yeah, I mean, but it looks a little bit above average. Is how they're
All right,
showing it here.
we'll remember the name.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'll forget the name and then I'll remember the name.
Yep.
Jalen Kilgore. Now that leaves us Danny Dennis Sutton.
Yep. 4 years with the Nittany Lions. Dennis Sutton appeared in 54 games with significant playing time, accumulating 127 tackles, 34.5 tackles for loss, 23.5 sacks, Dan.
That's pretty good.
Yep. 7 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 2 interceptions, and 7 pass breakups. His 2 sack performance. Ooh, that's impressive. Oh, of the quarter. Okay, sacks not 2 sacks. He played in the Pinstripe Bowl against Clemson, capped his Penn State career with the same kind of production that defined his journey as a 5-star recruit to an established Big Ten pass rusher.
All right.
He leaves State College as one of the program's most accomplished defensive linemen of the James Franklin era. A consistent year-over-year improvement and reputation for elevating his game when the lights were at their brightest, Dan. He is. Let's see if he has any measurables, if he does exist. Yes, he does. He has height and weight. You want to hear him?
I would actually like to hear both height and weight.
He's 6'5", and he's 268 pounds.
That is a Dennis Allen set of measurements there.
Yeah, it is. And that's a third round, pick number 89.
All right. Okay, we'll take all that under advisement.
Yeah, we'll
Thanks so much.
keep looking at stuff as mock drafts come through, and we're putting together something fun for the draft season. So we'll see what we can develop here on 312 Sports.
I cannot wait because that's what matters next. The pro days will be coming. The combine will be here before you know it, and they'll be talking about overrated shrimp cocktail at St. Elmo's Steakhouse.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Diego Pavia a lot.
We're not going to be talking about Diego Pavia a lot.
Yeah, when we get closer to draft day, we're going to have an hour dedicated each day to Diego Pavia. We're going to do a special Diego Pavia podcast.
The Pavcast.
The Pavcast.
The
Paviacast.
The Paviacast with Roel and Javier.
Yeah, and every time that you open your mouth, you have to take a shot.
Of?
Alcohol.
Right, but does it depend what kind?
Yeah, rubbing.
Yeah. Not good for the old eyes. No thanks. That'll do it.
I said drink it. Don't pour it in your eyes.
Forward progress today here on 312 Sports.
Forward progress has stopped. 10, 219, 219.
Forward Progress, a Chicago Bears podcast with Dan Bernstein and Matt Abaticola on 312 Sports.